Hi.
No
Hi,
intro.
everyone. I forgot about the intro video. Yeah. I can do it here. Here we go. Intro video. Welcome to another edition of KitSZN. Obviously, I'm having a fun time over here because I was 10 seconds in, and then I decided to run the intro video. So, besides that, over here, Fox, how are we doing on this August Eve, as my wife called it?
Yeah, August Eve. Yep, it was the last day before the boys so they can get their $3 Build-A-Bears. So went to Build-A-Bear. Got, if you have toddlers, it's a dope thing they have there. You pay for their age for a bear. So like we've gotten one in the last 2 years. So they got, we got 2 bears for $2 each, and then we got 2 bears for $3 each this year.
That's cute.
Yeah, and then each piece of clothing costs $800. So
right,
it's how to get you, but it's nice. It's nice to get that instead of paying for a $30 bear and the $8 shirt and the $5 hat and
on top of everything.
And of course, the boys are potty training, so we have underwear under the shorts. So the bears have underwear and shorts and a shirt and a hat.
That's new to me. My Build-A-Bears, yes, I have Build-A-Bears.
Yeah,
did not have underwear. So we're moving up in the world. Those kids do not know how we used to have it.
Bears are just going potty in their shorts all day. It's just a mess.
Or as how I used to have mine, just fully nude.
Just a bear.
Yeah, it's just a bear. Anyways, we won't be too overbearing on this topic. So I did want to start off here tonight's episode, as we always do, by giving a massive shout out to our lovely, lovely patrons. So shout out to John Hunt, Frank Anthony, Christopher Cohn, Harry Austin, John Fuller, Michael Foots, Joshua Duder, Noah Telford, Alberto Aguilar, Jeremy Churchman, Stephen Howard, Ryan Lacara, Tim Knotts, NF Reg 30, MOS, Kunal Patel, Olive the Hedgehog, Andrew Towsley, Matt Cat Peel, and Ryan Smetzler, as well as our sponsor, Goals.tv, for helping us do what we love to do and sending the USL team up to Portland, Maine last weekend to do some really cool stuff, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without your support. So shout out to all you lovely, lovely people. And yes, Michael, I want to reach out. I forgot about that. Yes, Michael says greetings from the main streets of Indianapolis.
Is it the conference or convention?
Yeah, Gen Con's going on right now, and I'm like legit probably less than a mile from you, Michael, right now. So I will need to reach out to you some point while you're here. So anyways, so welcome to Indianapolis. Hopefully Gen Con's fun. Anyways, so it started here on tonight's episode from wherever you are, if you're a mile from me or you're hundreds of miles away from us. We're going to get started with today's kit. Now, our first one here is a little surprising because we have questions, and I'm going to do a little bit of research while we present this, as I haven't gotten time to it yet. But yeah, so I'm going to get right into it. So our first kit of the night is Reading United's Pagoda Kit. Now, why Pagoda? And I have 1,000 questions. So,
yeah. I mean, just starting off, like looking at it, it's a really cool kit. It's really interesting, but there's got to be a story or something behind this, right?
There's got to be something over this.
Because it would feel
But
weird for, especially like this is League Two, right? So it would feel
correct.
super weird for a random League Two, technically amateur side to have such a very culturally distinct building.
No way.
Oh, well, we found out.
They legit have a pagoda.
Well, there you go.
It's been over the city of Reading, Pennsylvania, for over a century at this point.
Well, there you go. That's awesome then.
Holy crap!
That
That
changes my score.
the symbol of the symbol of the city for over a century, built in 1908 in the National Register of Pennsylvania. Man, I'm telling you, I'm confused by you, but I'm always shocked by everything. I'm still keeping mine.
I changed my authenticity.
I'll still keep it.
Because like that was kind of the thing. Like I had authenticity score, and I but I felt like there's got to be a reason behind this. Because right now it doesn't really feel authentic, but I also don't know, and that's the point of kits. Somebody sees
Correct.
this, it's like, one, why is there a train on the badge, and then a pagoda on the jersey, and you're like, well, actually, Reading, Pennsylvania, is known for its
Yeah.
major pagoda. That's Pagoda.
Yeah, a pagoda. Yeah, a pagoda.
But yeah.
That's
So now that I've learned that, this is a really cool kit. I really like the coloring. I like the blue and gold on top of the white. I like how they did the pagoda in that gold, but it's kind of faded in there. So it's a really cool kit, especially for a League 2 kit. Like this is something, and I was a little afraid at first because it's giving me that vibe of like just taking a picture and splattering it onto a kit. But if they did do that, they did it the right way because this looks nice.
That's debatable for me, but
yeah. But you feel like what I was talking about, right? Like it looks like a photo was taken and just screen printed on a shirt.
It kind of reminds me of Peoria cities that we looked at last year.
Oh yeah.
And just kind of put in the skyline, a photo of it on it, and no, sorry, you don't get full props from me. I like nods to it, or I like
artist renderings.
Or artist renderings, yes, correct. So, but I'll leave that for the other part though. This is just a slick kit from the League 2 W side. We at some point, if Fox and I never want to end the show this season, we do need to go through all the League 2 and W teams with the websites so we can actually rate all of them. We'll see. Given how expansive
next season kits are coming out soon.
I know, no kidding. Just very briefly for all you all who aren't aware, we have 44 kits currently in League 2, and we have 22 for the W. And that number seems small because we did a lot more last year.
Yeah, so that's home and away too,
and some thirds.
Yeah.
So, but without further ado, I'm gonna hop right into my score because I did adjust Fox's, so yours has been reflected here. But for me, they went overall a little simple. I think that the overall design and the aesthetic of it is okay. It's a 3. I think I would look good in it, especially with a pair of jeans, or whatever, just like everyday outfit. You look fine. I'll leave it at that. For authenticity and tradition, I gave it 3 points. Now knowing that the pagoda is actually there in Reading, it gets 3 points for that. But I don't know how authentic. Oh, like overall anything by just slapping a photo onto it. Someone correct me if I'm wrong though, but I don't think of Reading when I see a pagoda. No offense to Reading, even though they've had it for over a century. I just don't think of it.
What
So
do you think of when you think of Reading, Pennsylvania?
I forget it exists.
Right. So I feel like this taught us something.
I mean, it
So
did, and that's why I got 3 points and not
yeah,
less.
because I agree. I don't think of Pagodas anywhere in America. Maybe Seattle. Maybe Seattle.
San
But
Francisco is the one that I think of.
San Francisco. But I think of the railroad in my monopoly. Yeah.
Oh shoot, yeah.
Yeah. I think of the Reading Rainbow. So anyways, because you say Reading and I still say Reading, and I'm sure you're right.
Honestly, at some point, the English language says we're both right.
Yeah.
So, English. But
Yeah.
no, but just I feel like it's been a little copped out because they just put a photograph on it, and we don't know it's actually from theirs. It could just be a photo from the one in wherever, and it feels kind of copped out. And is there some place for me to hurt it on that? It would have been here on this authenticity part. It doesn't feel as authentic to me, even though it is their city. And it did teach us a lesson, so there's that. I might have to visit at some point. Just saying. Yeah. But so when it comes to visual details and execution, overall, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I I give it a 4 here. I don't like the lack of details outside of the photo being kind of shadowed in the background. There isn't anything else
Yeah.
anywhere. Like, you don't see it in the sleeves, you don't see it in the cuffs, you don't see it in the collar, you don't even see any sort of accent anywhere else. It's just white with gold cuffs and collar. Not a fan. But it still gets a 4 from me overall because of the pagoda. It doesn't look terrible, and it is a unique object on there. But when it comes to innovation and impact, I give it a 2. For the most part, yeah, it's not innovative because they just do a photo in the background, and I don't think there's much of an impact because I just didn't think there would be. So my overall score is a 3.0. And now, Fox, tell me where you went different.
So honestly, I feel like this is one of the few kits that we've actually had strong different opinions. Like usually I'm just like a half a point above you or something. But like this time I'm a whole point above. And I honestly I just gave straight 4s at this point. Because I feel like this gives a huge shot. Like I feel like this is aesthetically okay. Like I feel like it's a 4. Like it's not amazing, but also like I'm like, oh cool, look at the cool building on there. Like that's interesting.
Yeah.
So like the aesthetically, and it's also like it's not bad looking either. Like I like the golds and the blues and everything on it. So like it's a cool kit. And look, she's taking a picture in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt ignorant AF right now. But authenticity and tradition, I moved that up to a 4. I had it 2 because I was like, it's like Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Right.
So, but now we've learned about it, and I feel like they're giving a shout to their area.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's cool. Visual details and execution. I think this looks fine. I think it looks good. So that's why I give it a 4. But I do agree with the idea of like just like putting a picture on it. But I feel like they at least like did the shadowing scale to the photo to where it's not just like clearly a photo, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. They did a little bit of editing to where it has some depth and interesting stuff to it.
Yeah.
And innovation and impact. I hear what you're saying about innovation, but I feel like this would have an impact on the community, especially the community that revolves around this. And if they had it for sale locally, I'm sure a lot of people bought it. Or if their website was better at the beginning of the year or had pre-sales maybe. Because we try to go to the website and it's not easily accessible.
Correct.
And they do have a shop, but it's like outdated. So
Yes.
it's a whole situation.
Correct. But yeah, I mean, overall, you give it a 4, so it's a 3.5 overall. I think to the point with some of these, when it comes to impact, I think most of these will have good impacts locally.
Yeah.
Particularly home kits. I don't think most people are going to be selling home kits outside of your targeted demographic.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times for me, it's how much attention was brought to this, and then I scale it based off of that. Or try to say how much positive attention was brought to it. Particularly because, we've seen in the past, some have done a lot of attention, but not because they were good. So we'll go with that. And obviously there's no kit value for this one, just we weren't able to find it anywhere. Otherwise it would be about $60 from what I saw from previous kits at their full price. So yeah, that is Reading United FC's Pagoda Kit for 2025. Fun little disparity in our view on that kit, but we'll go with the how much we dislike and how we differ on a white kit. So up next though is one that we didn't disagree on how we view things because it is what it is.
Oh yeah.
And there's not much to it. So up next, we have the Pittsburgh Riverhounds fortified in the 412 kit, their new third kit for this year. I'm just going to say it straight up. They missed the mark.
Yeah, they shot a shot. They shot a shot. I'll give them that.
Honestly, if they would have just kept with that gray cross pattern they have throughout, as you can see on the front and the back of this kit, it looks pretty nice with the cross patterns. If they would have shrunk that old base and put it into like a corner and have it overlap on both sides, I think that would have looked aesthetically a bit better. And then it would just be a simple white kit with a little bit of a little accent of a nod to that fort in the corner. But this, I just don't think it hits the mark for me. And also, it's not aligned.
Oh yeah,
So, like,
that's the point. It's tilted. Oh yeah, it's not like I see what you're saying.
it's not aligned. So, like, how can you have
This is a front and a back.
Yeah, and like
It doesn't like wrap around.
correct. This clearly goes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, but it feels like it doesn't fully wrap around.
No, because the
So,
cool thing about these forts are they're essentially squares.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah, with the corner arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I feel like this almost, especially for Pittsburgh, could have made a hella cool checker pattern.
Mm.
Like you said, like shrink it down, but then put a bunch of them in corner to corner and just make a full checker pattern with it.
I'm just surprised they went with white. Given how many teams in this league have white with a yellow, I'm looking at Charleston. Can't remember New Mexico United, and obviously we all know Pittsburgh has the black and yellow. So going with one kit being black with yellow, then another being yellow and gray, doing another light color in yellow seemed like a choice. I did see the Riveters had a red version, so that's why we're not talking about that one either, because it's just red.
It's literally the exact same kit, guys.
Yeah, but red.
Yeah,
I would have preferred the red be their alternate instead of having one yellow and one red, in my opinion. Because I think the red would less likely clash.
Yeah, or do that Pittsburgh Penguins baby blue.
That could tie in, to tie in with the.
Yeah, you're still bringing in the other teams, because that's the one thing that's really cool about Pittsburgh. It's the black and gold. Yep. If you're walking black and gold, it is a Pittsburgh team. You don't know what team it is, don't know what league it is, but it's Pittsburgh. Yep.
Outside of the Pittsburgh, outside of University of Pittsburgh, because they're a blue and yellow, not blue and gold.
They're not professional yet.
Well, their football team is. Let's put it that way, basically, essentially. But yeah, no. And they're also trying to lead into that black and yellow aesthetic. You got to be yellow in Pittsburgh. But
Right.
I think going with if they could have even just gone with that baby blue instead of white, I think this would look better. That's just me. I'm not saying it would be like a 4, but it would be better than the white. So, all right, thoughts. You start us off on this one.
Design and aesthetics, I gave it 2. This isn't aesthetically pleasing. If you don't even know the forts, like I had to research the forts, kind of like what we were just talking about with the last building.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to research what they were talking about, and it's kind of cool to learn more about, the history and the what's going on in Pittsburgh. But otherwise, I had to figure out like what are these weird arrows? Is this like a north, south, east, west compass rose situation going on, or what? Yeah, what's going on? And this would be a really cool compass kit too. But anyways,
hey, I'll say real quickly, the only reason I know what this shape was, thanks to hours of playing Civilization 4. That's all I'm going to say. I knew what this looked like a fortification from my mini ones that I built in the game. So
such a nerd.
It's what it is.
Which I say with love. Because I'm clearly in there too with my giant piplup and everything behind me. My Nickelodeon clock next to me. Authenticity tradition. I did give it 3 because they're giving a shout out to something that's special in Pittsburgh, but I feel like it's so hard to recognize.
Yeah.
Because like the last one, like I gave a 4 because they were giving a shout out to the building, but you can clearly see what it is. So this one, if it wasn't called the fortified kit, you might not know that it's even a fort.
Well, it's actually technically called, according to them, just their alt kit.
I feel like didn't they like their advertise? I know on this, I feel like they always do that, but I feel like their advertisements called it something else.
Their advertisement is what I put into the official name, the fortified and the 412 kit.
Yeah, exactly. Visual details and execution, I gave a dose because the only detailing that's in there are the forts, and I'm just going to say forts because I feel like what you talked about, it's 2 separate forts.
At least looks like it, right?
It's not one fort that like wraps around. It's this one and then this one at a different spot.
Yeah.
And innovation and impact, I gave it 1. Like I don't think we're going to be like it's not so bad that we're like, oh, did you see that kit? You remember that kit? Gross. But the only thing I could feel like we could talk about later, it's like, oh, it's kind of interesting how their W team and their championship team came out with the same kit. But we could talk about that with Seattle.
Or we can even do that with AFC and Arbor, who did that as well.
Yeah.
And plenty of, well, not championship and W, but men's and women's team both having same kits.
Well, yes. If we're talking about like Indy and the ones that all have the exact same kit, but like these have different marketing.
That's fair.
Or
branding.
Yeah, different branding, different identities.
Yeah.
But same kit. That's what I was going at. So so it got a 1 from me. So all of that ended up with a 2, which is interesting how we both ended up with a 2.
Yeah, mine's a little different. I started off with the 1 aesthetically. I don't like the look of this, personally speaking. It just doesn't. It looks messy. Like I think it just looks weird. And I'll just leave it at that. I did like the gray hatching on the back, that cross hatch, I'm gonna call it, which I think is nice, but it's a little too subtle, and I wish it was a little bit more present. Next, we do authenticity and tradition because it is the fort there in Pittsburgh, Fort Pitt specifically. I did give him 3 there. I just couldn't give it any higher. One of the visual details, as I mentioned, the only reason this gets 2 from in execution is that crosshatch. I do like that little crosshatch pattern that they did in the background. It is a nod to their checkers that they normally do. So that is a nice little touch there. However, just the imbalance of the fort is throwing me off. And I think I've said this for several years now. White and yellow,
Don't go together.
I don't like it specifically if the yellow is like the main thing in the middle. Now, like Borussia Dortmund, my team, they do produce white kits, but they have the yellow as a bit of an accent on the outsides. Whereas everything in between is a bit of a white or a gray or a black
Yeah.
and maybe a little bit of yellow thrown in. This is having yellow being like the star on top of white.
Yeah, the design itself is a yellow design on a
Mhm.
white canvas
Correct.
versus having like a white kit with just yellow
Correct.
detailings.
Correct. Yes. And I think that hurts for the execution part,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And then when it comes to innovation and impact, I give it a 2. I like that they did a unique shape in the shape of an old fort there, but it's just that shape. There's nothing really innovative about it. It's just a singular shape.
Just the shape.
And
Again,
I
they
think
could have done this with the checkerboard, which is still them. It's still very much Riverhounds.
what they could have done is done blue and gray, like a blue kit with that gray checker pattern on the back, and then they just throw this in over top of it, or like in the corner or something.
We would have complained about being too busy.
Oh yeah, I would have. That's fine.
I know I would too.
Or maybe
but it would have got a better score for sure.
It would have gotten a better score, but I think they would have, or they should have found a better way to highlight the fort personally. But regardless, I'm not here to unsolicited advice. So it's a 2 from me, it's a 2 from Fot. So do a quick average. It's a 2 from us. Now, when it comes to quick, it's kit value. This is not something to write home about. Given it's retailed at $95 currently, and a score of a 2, it's a kit value of 21.05. Ouch.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, and honestly, you're better off in probably their away kit if you like a lighter tone. So I like the gray with a yellow checker look they got better than this. So this was the Pittsburgh Riverhounds fortified in the 412 kit for 2025. Not their best look in our opinion. So
again, though, like I will say, like they took a shot.
They did.
Yeah, they took a shot. Something special that's to the area. Keep taking shots. Just aim better.
Now, here's where I think our rubric helps this. We say we like creative kits and we like things to be teams that try.
Yeah, look cool. And
when they miss, it's bad. And it's harder to miss when you do more of a template, a safe look, as we see here on our next team in Detroit City FC's Emerald Green Kit, is what I've dubbed. And look, we know this. It's Adidas. You're going to get what you're going to get from them. And they did what they all do, which is change the crest. And it's some sort of basic template. This looks like an Ajax kit, like an Ajax kit of old. Just change colors to have their gold with their green.
There's just absolutely nothing special about this kit.
Correct. And as y'all will see, though, is that this actually did better from both of us than the last one.
Actually, a lot better from you. Only a little better from me. And that's because of 2 sections.
Correct. And what I think happens here when teams, and I'm going to emphasize it this way, when it comes down to teams who play it safe, I think you tend to get an aesthetically pleasing kit and well executed kit because you're not trying something unique personally, but it's hard to mess up. Whereas when you try something and you fail, you miss a spot on both of those big spots for me, where it didn't quite look out turn out the way you wanted it to, and it also doesn't look good. So then that hurts the overall execution of what you were trying to accomplish.
Yeah, it changes a lot.
Correct. That's why this kit, and I'll hop right into it and share it here. That's why this kit is better, and that's why it's higher for me. So when it comes to design aesthetics, so if y'all remember, I was in Detroit about a month or two ago with my brother. I was in the area and I went to their shop. I actually wanted to buy this kit because overall I like this aesthetic from Detroit City. I'm not going to get me one of their maroon kits. It's just not going to happen, at least because for the most part they are what they are. Their away kits I tend to like a little bit more because they're a little bit more colorful. And I've also learned for teams across the U.S., particularly the championship, given my love of the Indy 11, I tend to go for away kits or their alternative kits, like their kits, because it's not their colors, and I can just wear it, and people won't come at me. So
it's not so automatically obvious that it's like a Detroit kit, like a rival kit. Like you're not going to go around. I know you're not going to rock an away kit either, but you're not going to go rocking a purple Louisville City shirt. Like if you're getting a Louisville City shirt, it's going to be like the blue one that you can't necessarily tell,
or like the black one that they got, right? Because you had to look up close and see the logo. Otherwise, you're like, oh, okay, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted this one, but instead I didn't. I got another one instead. I'm happy with. But so when it comes to design aesthetics, it's a solid 4. White with gold. I told Fox this. Gold just always looks good, particularly with a dark color like green. I grew up in this high school where our colors were green and gold, or green and yellow, depending on what sport you are, because we can never decide on what shade of gold, or even if we're using gold or if we're using yellow,
or what brand that team is wearing. Because if you're like my school, we every team is wearing whole different brands, and stuff like that.
That's fair, actually. I didn't think about that. We did. So yeah, it was chaos. It's chaos. So I've always liked the green and gold look. It's what my high school football team wore, and it's what I wore when I wrestled. So I always like that aesthetic better. Anyway, so it's a 4 for me. It looks good. This is one of the things that I don't always like with like this Ajax center stripe is what I'm calling this. It kind of cuts the crest and the Adidas logo in half. That's just a weird quirk of the design. So it just is what it is. But as I said, this is a design that's like an Ajax template from Adidas. So it's just a 1 for authenticity and tradition. No. But visual details and execution, though, I did like the different crest, the simplified crest for Detroit City. I do like the gold. I think the detailing along it makes the gold accent stand out because of the green, and because it overshadows, like, I think over half of it, probably close to 3/4 of each logo. They do stand out, and they don't blend into the background, because white and gold aren't too different in terms of standing out from each other, so they can kind of blend in together. So I like that little touch, a little outline of white to really separate them a little bit, particularly on the green. But when it comes to innovation and impact, as I said, this is an Ajax template, but it did do well for a lot of people in Detroit City. So I did a 2 there for me, and overall with a 2.75 for me.
Yeah, I mean, word-wise, I feel like we're kind of the same, but I have a couple different reasons. First of all, like you said, design and aesthetics, it looks great. You know, it's a nice looking kit. You're not going to complain about the way this visually looks.
Right.
So it's a 4. Authenticity and tradition, no, it's a 1. Like, there's absolutely nothing special about this.
No.
That makes me scream Detroit, except for you could argue some sort of Pistons, 90s Pistons argument.
Or you could even talk East Lansing for Michigan State.
Yeah.
Green and white. But that's a stretch.
Yeah, kind of forcing it. But they did such a good job with the goalie kits for the Pistons and for the Lions, giving nods to those teams that you can't even say that you did that again for this team. Visual details and execution, I gave a 4, and honestly, I kind of want to give it a 3, but I'm gonna keep it. But it's just because like everything is visually fine. Like execution wise, I think really say that like they executed it fine. It's a nice looking kit, so there's nothing for me to complain about. Um, but innovation and impact, I actually just gave it a straight 0 because there's no innovation. There's not going to be an impact. Like Detroit fans are going to pick it up, but I mean, other than silly people like you, I don't see anybody, any special kit collectors or anything, wanting this kit.
Correct.
So yeah. So with that, it got a strong 2.25 from me.
By the way, and it's a 2.5 overall with Fox's store and mine combined. So it's 2.5 overall from us. Do you know what I just noticed?
What did you just notice?
Do you see that W in the back? Do you know
Yeah,
what it stands for?
I figured it was a sponsor.
It is. Do you know what that sponsor is?
Werther's Original.
Wayne State University, a public university there in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, there you go.
Do you want to know what their colors are?
Yes.
Green and gold.
So it's a Wayne State jersey.
Correct. It's a nod to a Detroit public university there that is a big part of their community. So it doesn't change my score, but just wanted to point that out as I looked up Wayne State because that is their local university there. So
I mean, again, it's a nice nod that they did for them.
They did. It is.
But I mean, it's the same thing I complain about with Louisville all the time. Like they made a really boring jersey with a template and marketed it well.
Yes.
Changed some colors.
They marketed it.
Yeah, they didn't even market this. Like that's kind of just little stuff hiding around for you to find.
See anything else? Yeah, there's no description. So yeah, that's what this kit is. But hey, when it's a kit value though, being as we said here, it's $90 for this jersey, for this Adidas template, and our score of a 2.5. This comes out to be a 27.78 kit value score. Again, don't be like me if you're just looking to buy a kit. Make sure you get some of their other kits. Again, I highly recommend, as we see down here below, either their Detroit Lions kit or the Detroit Pistons goalkeeper kit. Both of them, I think, look good, unless you want to go with the traditional Le Rouge with their crimson kits. So,
yeah, honestly, I'm gonna fight you on your argument about how you don't like buying their home. I'm okay with your reasonings, but yes. I feel like I'm almost more inclined to want to buy a home kit, even if they are semi-rivals, because I would consider Detroit a kind of a rival to Louisville.
They are to Indianapolis, at least to me, because we are, as I dub it, a Motor City Cup with Indy 500,
right?
And then Detroit obviously making the cars. So,
but they just always played well, and they play with so much passion every time both teams play. So, like, I feel like if it wasn't originally a rival, like it's one of those rivalries that build, and it's not just happened to be in the same state or down the highway. Like some rivalries happen to be. Yeah, which I'm okay with our rivalry. I like it. But, like, yeah, I think if you're just going to get a team kit to get a team kit, I would go with the home, personally. Unless they came out with something really cool. But it's always nice to have that team's colors. Like, that's who Detroit is. They're the Rouge. They're that sick maroon, which I'm rocking a maroon right now. Not Le Rouge, but a nice maroon.
Yeah. Well, we all got our thoughts I ain't ever wearing purple. If that's your attempt to get me to wear purple, so it ain't gonna happen. So
It's okay. You're gonna be rocking some city red in a couple weeks.
I will be, yes. So, but that has been the Detroit City FC Emerald Green Kit for 2025. Okay, Adidas template, please move away from Adidas, please.
Yeah, honestly, the qualities aren't even that good anymore. Like I can't even argue. Like
the replicas now. That's why.
yeah, well, like even like I think the players are getting replicas, and that's even a bigger issue for me.
I would agree with that. So, but what we all can agree on is this next kit is definitely interesting. So, a little bit more interesting than what we've had already here. So, up next is West Seattle Junction's Desmond Hansen kit. And let me tell you here right up off the bat, this was certainly an attempt to do kind of into this growing trend that we have seen set by their local rivals, Ballard FC, and in collaborating with a local artist. Some teams do well, some teams do not. That is just kind of the beast that it is of trying to tie art into a kit. So, and in this case, it's a little hard giving all the amount of colors and making it all kind of flow together. Now, a lot of the times when I see these artist kits, either they like lean into like obviously this one's leaning into an art style, and that's Desmond Hansen's art style. I just don't know if it transitioned well onto a kit, and I don't know how you'd be able to transition it onto a kit, in my opinion. But I do like the attempt, and I do want them to keep doing it, and I do like the colors, and it's such a fun vibe. And this is probably, this is one that's on my list because it is unique. I love supporting local artists, and I love supporting local clubs supporting local artists. So that's my initial thoughts on this one.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite kits that will get really low scores.
Fair enough.
If that makes sense. I enjoy this kit. Like you said, the vibe is sick. It's a fun. It kind of makes me think of floating. It's fun floaty kit, and you know they're just trying to give up some good vibes with this, and that's what you get from it. But otherwise, I mean, it's not necessarily my style. It's not necessarily my style of art that I enjoy. Like I love your jersey you're wearing right there. That art is beautiful to me.
Yeah.
Right there. Actually, even the one I'm wearing right now is like the geometric styles. I like that. This is like the watercolor.
Yeah.
Just doesn't necessarily hit for me on a soccer jersey. I like the graffiti. I like architecture. This one just doesn't hit, but it's still really cool.
Yeah.
So, whose turn is it to go on?
I think your turn.
Okay. Design aesthetics, honestly, I gave it 2. Because it is what it is at this point. It's just I can't necessarily tell what the art is. Like, is there a tree, like with the yellow flowers, raising from the grass and a rainbow behind it? So it's one of those like art is subjective, and I'm also one of those guys that like I can't tell what it is. I don't necessarily enjoy it as much, probably just because I'm not cultured enough. But authenticity and tradition, I gave it 3. They're representing a local artist, like you talked about. I wish he was trying to represent something local, or if he was, I wish I could tell that he was representing something local with his art. Because, like, if you look at San Francisco's that you're rocking right there, 1, that's a pride jersey that you can't even tell is a pride jersey. 2, it's a local artist, and 3, the local artist is tapping into the Japanese culture and the koi fish that's going on with it. And that's and you could just see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can read into it and read more about it because like I didn't realize there was like the different phases and then all that cool stuff with the different coloring. But this one is just, is it something in Seattle that I don't, West Seattle that I don't know about,
Hmm.
or is it just a local artist doing his local artist work on a jersey? Visual details and execution. I mean, I gave it 3. There's a lot of details in it. Execution's fine. It's just, again, not my art. Innovation, 5. I've never seen this before. I don't think we will see it again. And hopefully it has a positive impact. And I want them to keep going to this. Like, don't stop going to local artists. Keep going to local artists.
Right.
I just have different taste.
Now, as I said, everything that I had just said about this kit and like, how do I phrase it? It seems like I dislike this kit. No, en contraire. That is actually, I wanted me trying to find a way to love it more. And I couldn't find a way. So, because for my scores here, I did just update it because I realized I don't want to be hypocritical in my thoughts here. This is the type of aesthetic that I'm going for, personally. When I go for kits, I like outlandish and crazy and colorful kits. And that's one of the things that I always plotted Loudon for, not Loudon, Ballard for, is for their loud artist kits. I have them all in my collection. I have 2 of them. I think I missed this year's. I know. I was a little slow because they released it a little bit later, a little bit different timing. But it's always my type of aesthetic that I'm looking for. It's fun. It's creative. It gets your attention. And while I'm a boring guy for the most part, I tend to like my kits to kind of get the attention. So this is a 5 for me from design aesthetics. I love the vibe. When it comes to authenticity and tradition, it does tie into a local artist and their art. I love that. The 4. And to Fox's point, even if it doesn't tie directly to Seattle, as I pointed out with the Stevie Chow kit, the Deuce Fi kit, the Sarah Robbins kit of this year's, their version, it's still a fun art and it's fun vibes. So I can't hurt it too much there. So it's a 4 from me. When it comes to visual details and execution, I do think the detailing, again, this looks like a graphic design put onto a kit, but I think they were able to put it together into a kit well enough and that it does look good. A little messy. I think that's from the art style, but overall, the execution was good. It's a 4 for me. Now, the innovation and impact, because as I said, this is kind of a growing trend that people tie in a local artist. And that's okay. It's a growing trend. And I think depending on who you are, you love it or you hate it. But it's a better trend than the map kits because it does involve a local artist. And I can never be upset about local community organizations collaborating with each other.
Yeah.
So it's a 3 though for me from impact. So it's a 4.0 overall for me. It's a solid kit. I like it. It's on my
More
list.
map kits.
No more map kits. So,
All the map kits.
So given the score here of a 3.63 overall and at a nice retail price of $75, the kit values of 48.33. This is up there. This is really good. I don't believe it's in our top 10 list in terms of what's the word? In terms of being up the list, but I think our last one might be pushing it.
I'm looking at the list real quick.
I know, I'm pulling up right now.
56 is the lowest.
Okay, so it comes close. But yeah, so this is a solid pickup. As we've kind of said on this year's show, Equip tends to have their kits pretty cheap too, and they're good quality. So if you like fun attempts at art and creativity and being unique looking with your kits, you might want to cope this one up.
Yeah, and like you said, like Equip makes good, comfortable kids, and a big shout out to them for helping design the shows kits that got
Yes,
help raise some money to get the boys
up to Portland.
out to Portland.
So
And I have mine upstairs. I still haven't worn it on the show. Also, I got a large because I was really believing in myself at the time, and I'll get into it.
we did into it. Hey, you got 6 months. Call it the second half of the year resolution. So,
well, I got till April because I signed up for the marathon already. They had a special for Runner's Day, so like World Runner Day or something like that. They had a super special, so I'm like, it's cheap. I'll sign up for it.
Running. Anyway, speaking of running, I'm running away from this conversation, so we can go to our final kit here. But this was the West Seattle Junction Desmond Hansen kit. Love the attempt. Love the idea. Keep up the creativity. So, to conclude tonight's kit here, we are going to look at a kit that was actually revealed to us exclusively in our interview with Jamie and AFC and Arbor. So it was a fun little sneak peek that y'all got to get. And then even when I got to go visit Ann Arbor here about a month ago, I picked up this kit. So this is, let me try to get the name right, the AFC Ann Arbor Sunrise Kit. Now you see it here. It's just a fun aesthetic with the purple, the gold, and then the pinks and like the red going through it. It's just such a fun vibe kit, I'm going to call it. And it's just super colorful. I saw several people wearing this kit, but also for a club like Ann Arbor who's celebrating their 10th year, you tend to find, a lot of kits. So a lot from over the years. So that was really fun to see. So I want to jump right into this one just because I really like this kit. It's such a fun vibe. Obviously, it's the one that's in my collection because of the unique color sets, and I already have a traditional blue Ann Arbor and a data green one from last year. So I wanted purple. Anyways, I need purple that's not Louisville. So so when it comes to design aesthetics, as I said, I'm a fan of this. It's a fun vibe. It looks good. It's a 4 from me. When it comes to authenticity and tradition, it's supposed to be modeled after the sunrise up there in Ann Arbor. Everywhere has sunrises. So it's a 2.
Not like Ann Arbor's.
Not like Ann Arbor, but then everyone says the best part about Indiana's are sunsets, and it's literally the same everywhere.
Well, yeah, because you don't have to see the rest of Indiana.
Or if you're Kentucky, works both ways, bud. Anyways,
we don't say that about Kentucky. We like the sunrise
because y'all are drunk on bourbon.
The sun shines bright, bro. The sun shines bright. I don't know if I'm allowed to sing that song anymore. Apparently, it's not good, but yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. So, when it comes to authentic tradition, as I said, it's a 2. But when it comes to visual details and execution, Diaza did well. It's a 4 from me. And a side note, this is actually a 100% recycled kit. AFC Ann Arbor is one of those clubs that tries to do things environmental as they can. Only team that rivals them is Vermont Green, which congrats to being in the championship.
Yeah.
Also against Ballard. So I forgot to give them a shout out earlier too. In the USL League 2 championship. But AFC Ann Arbor also is pretty potent on that mission. So it's 4 for me. Innovation impact. I think the impact to me outweighs this more than the innovation. I think the different waves that they have in there, it's a nice color. Also, I never thought I'd see like red, magenta, orange, and pink flowing on a purple kit with nice yellow cuffs and collars. So I like that overall. Not something I see quite often. And there aren't a lot of purple kits out there. So I do like seeing that. So overall for me, it's a did I hit whatever. Yep, it's a 3.5 from me.
Yeah, I really like this kit. I was actually kind of surprised with your ratings.
It's the authenticity tradition, man. It dropped
Yeah,
it.
no, and that dropped mine too. Design and aesthetics. I really like this. I think it's really cool. I like the cool cuffs. I like the interesting design and the take on the sunrise or the sunset. I mean, and like you could tell that it's like space opening up right there
No,
on the shirt.
it's sunrise.
Okay, well the stars are going away on the chest, the belly.
Yeah.
But then the authenticity and tradition, that part, yeah, it was a 2. Like this doesn't say anything about AFC Ann Arbor to me. Like
Yeah.
it's this. You could have put a Louisville badge. You could have put an Indy badge on it. And I still would have liked the kit. It just has nothing to do with the area to me.
Yeah.
But visual details and execution, 5. I feel like they hit the ball on the head. It looks nice. Innovation and impact. I'm going to be talking about this next year. We're going to be saying, yeah, here's a purple kit that Brett's allowed to wear. And like you say, like the impact with it, the fact, usually we don't talk too much about the materials unless they do something special, and they're doing something special with it. And it's cool that it's coming from Diaza, because I like Diaza a lot. They have a lot of cool like mystery bags. I like to buy those. But they make a lot of really good, comfortable kits. I got a Brooklyn one, and it's really cool to see them stepping out of their typical just go-to production, and making a fully recycled kit.
Yeah.
And I like to see more of it. I really like what Forest Green Rovers are doing with it. I like what Player Layer does with it with Vermont. So just keep that going.
Yeah.
So the authenticity and tradition just really brought it down at 2.
Yeah. So Fox is a 4.25 with my 3.5. We did 3.88 overall score. Now, what I will say, one of the things about Diaza is every kit that they make it for athletes. So if you are somewhere, if you're somewhere in between sizes, or you might be a medium, but your body isn't quite an athlete medium anymore, be prepared for that. Or as in case of this kit specifically, it is kind of tight on the neck. It was something that I noticed. It just kind of how it came out, but everything else fit great. I literally sweat in like 90, 100-degree weather, and I was comfortable in the kit. So just the neck can get a little bothersome. It's a little heads up there. And also, if you're not an athlete, you might want to size up.
Yeah, if you got that fan bod and the dad bod,
and not running miles upon miles every Saturday. So
yeah, it's been a minute since I've done that.
But what you should do is probably buy this kit. So this is another $75 priced kit in the shop there at AFC Ann Arbor, and with the store that we gave it as a 3.88. This is a 51.67 kit value. It's solid. This is really good value. Not quite top 10, but it's definitely up there. It's good bang for your buck. And obviously, it looks good, honestly. And I don't spend money unless I have to. And this kit I had to drop money on because I had to look good. So you can take my word for it. So any final thoughts from you, Fox, before we wrap up today's show and kind of conclude this kit?
No, it's definitely a pickup. Pick it up. Love it. Rock it.
Yes. Love it and rock it. So that was the AFC Ann Arbor Sunrise kit. So before we leave here tonight's show, one of the things I want to do is be sure, if you like what we're seeing, to like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and follow us on Discord. Just we like to be in chat with y'all if you haven't noticed. So, now as we always do here, Fox, being it's a 1 week out from your birthday, what are you rocking today, Mr. Birthday Boy?
I am rocking good old Man City third kit from, I think, last year. Got this from my mother-in-law. Cool
Nice.
geometric designs on there.
Geometric shapes are a nod to Arabian culture, just they are quite big with geometric shapes. So they invented geometry and a lot of mathematics.
Yeah. And it's really nice because it's the Puma Ultra Wave, something like that.
Oh yeah, I got two of them. They're good fitting.
It's the authentic one. I have the one that we talk about all the time, but the one that says like Man City, it then doesn't have the logo. It has
that
it all
terrible
over.
third kit. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that one, and it doesn't feel like this. Like this is super lightweight. Like honestly, I was filling it out. Like when I was pulling it out, like it almost felt like paper. And then like you put it on, you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Like this is a lot nicer than you're expecting. But
yeah.
So yeah, I'll be rocking a bunch of Leicester and Man City for the next few weeks. Because just got my birthday gift in from my wife today, and this was from my mother-in-law yesterday. So
nice.
Shout out to Classic Football Kit or Classic Football Shirts.
Yes. Yes. Hey, you gotta look good. Gotta look good. Speaking of, thanks. Shout out to our friends at San Francisco City. Y'all have been amazing in helping me. Because I am rocking their Jeremy Novi kit, Pride kit from this year. It is honestly probably hands down. I looked at my wife earlier today. Hands down, one of my favorite kits in my entire collection. This is something that's so unique. It's art on a kit, but it doesn't look like a graphic design on a kit. And that is what I think is important. This looks like it's a piece of art that belongs on the kit, not a piece of art that got put onto a kit. This is this piece of art made on a kit. And it looks beautiful. It looks great. I love the koi fish. I love it, Maba, the little stitching up here. As we've seen on all their kits throughout this year. It looks really good. And the material feels amazing. It feels great. It looks great. And my wife likes it, so that's a big old bonus. Because if she likes it, you know it's pretty solid. So, again, massive shout out to them.
It's definitely like one of my top ones.
Yeah, it's good. And it is one of our it is our latest. No. It is one of our newest members to the Fives Club. So
yeah.
You're on KitSZN. So, but I don't have anything else here. After an hour and 4 minutes talking with you lovely people on this show, I run out of things to talk about. This man's probably a little bit tired because he's got kids. So you know how that is with sleep.
Yeah, school's coming up and getting texts from coworkers about what we have to have on our walls and all that good stuff.
And I have none of that responsibility because I don't have a job. So I am just vibing right now. I'm doing my own thing.
Brag.
So, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It depends on how you feel about it, you know.
It was okay week 1. 3 weeks later, maybe a little differently. Anyways, so but no, appreciate everyone tuning in here tonight's episode. Amongst your busy lives, we do appreciate your support and your love, and that's what we love about this community. And as we head up into August, I can't believe we're already in month number 8. Again, as always, please be sure to show each other love, respect, and please always be sure to take care of each other. Thank you, and have a good night, y'all.